Even miracles.
Ba-ba-dow. You sex no.
Is this the one with Neil?
I believe it is.
Welcome to the Back Row Fantasy Show with your hosts, Jeremy Barker, Aaron Arms, and Neil.
Okay, now we know which one it is. Now I can
Old Aaron Arm.
roll us right in there. Old Aaron Arm.
Good old Aaron Arm.
Good old Aaron Arm. You guys ready to 3, 2, 1 it?
Yes.
All quiet in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the Back Row Fantasy Show with your hosts, Jeremy Barker, Aaron Arms, and Neil Crabtree.
Hey, everybody. Welcome again to the Back Row Fantasy Show. It's me, Bark, with Arms to my left.
Good morning.
And Neil to my right.
Greetings.
You like that, Neil? Bat Neil.
I do like it.
You know what I like?
It's uplifting.
Your Tiffany blue tumbler you got there, guy.
It's the wife's.
I'm sure it is.
I think it's beautiful, Neil. I love those tumblers that are like cylindrical, one size from the base to the tip. Cylindrically one size.
At least it's straight
Ironically,
back
that's
coffee.
not the lid I saw you use on it last time.
Strange enough.
No.
So, we're back, and we've got one heck of an episode for you. Our three-way pod with Ball Blast and Married to the Game, fairly well received. A lot of folks liked it.
As far as the back row goes, that's as close to viral as we've been. I mean, other than that one thing you had.
Dan Cummins?
No, the STD.
Oh, that's disgusting.
It was a joke.
Okay.
But you didn't get it, and you just
I don't
ruined the
either.
joke.
All right, buddy.
I'm out of the loop on it.
All righty.
Maybe
yeah.
Maybe it's just that other than that one bump you had. Never mind.
Okay.
Okay.
Fine. Whatever. Okay,
Whatever.
Anyway, so on that episode, we may have called out our friend Fuego Frank Scanduro for fun because we do that.
You called out Fuego Frank.
We all have.
I wanted no wrath of the Frank, and now he's apparently bringing brimstone and hellfire upon me.
So he says.
I was a nice guy, so nothing's coming to me.
Hey, Frank, don't sing it.
I don't think anybody's safe, to be honest with you.
Bring it.
Like, I really don't think anybody's safe.
I'm not scared.
So, what? Okay.
Did you break it?
I broke something. But anyways, Frank is going to be joining us shortly. But until then, we won't keep you waiting. We do want to talk about some player battles, some position battles. But before we do that, there's been a handful of signings and trades. Maybe not a handful, but Deron Lee goes to the Chiefs for a 6th rounder. I think that's significant because as much as I like Anthony Hitchens, I don't really think there's anyone there besides him that's going to be very good.
That wasn't even a steep price. I thought was a great deal for him.
Dude, that was a bargain.
That's what I'm saying. That's like it's crazy to me.
I mean, the kid's really still learning the NFL game. Young, super athletic, and ends up in a system that he doesn't have to be the best linebacker in the league to be effective in Kansas City.
No.
A, for your fantasy team, and B, just kind of slow down the other team. You don't have to actually stop him all the time. Just slow him down. Give Patty Mahomes a little ice on his shoulder while he's throwing fastballs, waiting off the field, and he's going to be fine.
I'm just more worried about somebody who can cover tight ends stuff like that because Bengals messing around Ray Maluga for way too long. I can cover tight end to save his life. I can stand that, and they just kept him around.
Dude,
Right.
he was like
I hate to see
the consummate 2-down thumper. Like the dude, it just dropped the hammer. Was in the right place at the right time a lot, but you put someone who's above 6'1" against him, and he's the liability.
You okay over there, buddy?
I had softball practice with the kiddo until literally I left there, picked up one of her friends, took it to the house, pawned him off of my wife, and said, "All right, I'm going. I ate a Lunchable here. Like that's been my dinner."
A Lunchable, you say?
Normally, it's like a pile of meat with some sort of vegetable to the side.
These are not bad.
What?
The pizza one I always think I would hate, but it's actually pretty decent.
All right. So what I'm going to say is, like, I find myself growing older. I grew up in a household where you finish your plate.
Oh yeah, I still do. But yeah,
Yeah, no,
always did.
I do too. So, like, I'll get my plate and I'll eat. And then my kid who eats like 3 bites of something, I'm like, well, I ain't gonna let that hot dog go in the trash. Then my other kid who eats the bun, I'm like, well, the hot dog's still good. Dude, I bet I take in like 4,000 calories on an average day, just not letting food go to waste. It's
Well, it's like, well, I'll be damned if that goes in the trash.
yeah. I mean, what am I gonna do? Rinse the ketchup off of it and put it back in the fridge? No. Like, man, it's just a different way of growing up, I suppose.
Right.
The best part of growing
I got
up.
a buddy who took his kids to Disney, and he told me, because I didn't buy a meal plan for myself. I'm
That's first mistake right there.
like, really? He's like, yeah. Because I literally bought my family meal plan and survived off of the leftovers. Yeah, that's what he did. He legit survived off the leftovers of what his kids didn't eat, and he's like, dude, I eat better than they did.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
That meal plan's legit.
And you get like, a variety of food. One kid gets a hamburger, eats a quarter of it. You get like chicken strips and maybe some riblets for the third kid. Man,
Riblets.
I love ribs.
Nothing like a good McRib.
No, I actually like actual rib meat, not like
It is. It's all rib meat with no bones in
it's
it.
it's processed
doesn't get
meat
any
that has been
better than that.
compressed into the shape of ribs.
Have you ever had a chicken McNugget?
Yeah.
It's the best kind of chicken ever, and that's the same process.
I'm gonna disagree with you. If you've ever had Rooster's chicken tenders, they're amazing.
Give me chicken nuggets all day.
Okay.
Anyways,
I'm a big Popeyes fan. Went down south one time and literally
There's one in my town.
it took like churches stopped, Cane's stopped, Popeyes stopped, like every chicken place. I'm like, oh, God, I don't care.
no issue with that.
I'm gonna get a 4-piece at every daggone place and just love life all the way to Florida.
Man, Popeyes.
Churches is a damn kid too.
All right,
All right.
let's talk a little more football. The Duron Lee thing happened. Now there's rumors, which I don't know about these or not, but the Jets fired their GM, and now you've got the rumors that Adam Gase isn't happy with Le'Veon Bell's contract, and Adam Gase is a crazy MFer anyways. So now there's rumors that Le'Veon Bell could be traded before the season even starts.
Hilarious.
What? Like, what? You already signed him. You got him. I'm sure there's a way to get out of the deal cheaper in the next year or two. Use Le'Veon Bell. Who the heck are you going to play? I mean, who's going to run the ball for you?
They don't
You
even
didn't
have
draft a
Isaiah
guy.
Crowell anymore.
You didn't draft a guy. You can't really make this work.
Like, what are you going to do? You going to call Oakland and be like, hey, we're going to trade you Bell for Jacobs? Oakland's going to say, nah. Now, don't get me wrong. Bell's a more talented player, but
Absolutely.
Oakland's just going to be like, nah, we're not taking that contract when we just drafted a rookie. No, I can't imagine who's going to take on the headache for anything of value right now.
It just is, I think it's just a slow news day. It's like they make up this retarded information. I don't believe it.
Yeah, I don't like it. I do think Adam Gase is crazy, but yeah, I'm not buying that Le'Veon Bell is going to be traded. Just can't see it happening.
I can't see it happening either. That's ludicrous.
It's fake news.
It's ludicrous. Ludicrous is going to run the ball for the
Luda.
Jets.
Good.
Get back. You don't know him like
Nelly
that.
did it for the Mean Machine. Just saying.
Nelly was pretty good with the Mean Machine.
Elijah McGuire's going to run the team anyway.
Well, if
You
they
know,
trade
Eli
Lev Bell,
McGuire.
that could be the truth.
What about the Cannon kid?
What about him?
Oh, stud. He's taking Le'Veon Bell's job anyway.
Okay.
I'm just joking. Don't clip that out and
Yeah.
say Aaron Arms is an idiot. I mean, I am, but that's not that's not an actual statement I'm going to make. Like, and stand behind.
Glad.
So, any other trade rumors? Patty Mahomes going for like a 4th rounder somewhere?
No, haven't heard that.
Okay.
Haven't heard that one at all. But no, that's the Duron Lee thing. That's the one trade that comes to mind. Bruce Ellington of the Patriots, he already got dropped. I was kind of high on that signing. Apparently, he's not good enough for the Patriots that are
Or any
depleted.
team he's ever signed with.
Yeah, that are depleted at wide receiver. So, who knows, man? The Patriots do what the Patriots do. So,
They know what they're doing.
Well, yeah, but Bruce Ellington, I can't imagine he would have hurt their football team by being on it.
I liked him too. I liked him in college and everything. I don't know what the problem was with it.
Dude, they've got like Calvin Johnson coming back. You know what I mean? Like all of a sudden, I know he was a Lion goofball. Like, but they're just like going to do something stupid. Like, yeah, the Lions finally signed off, and the Patriots signed Calvin Johnson. What? Like they're just smarter than we are, and just accept it. Accept it. Tom Brady will eventually retire. You know, the souls that Bill Belichick takes, they're going to run out, and he's going to eventually retire or die.
The souls.
Yeah, I mean, something is. I'm pretty sure Bill Belichick personally knows Satan. I'm just saying.
I think you've said that before, actually. I think
And
that's been said on the show
I
before.
stand by that.
Nice. Hey, I want to take a quick second to throw a little shout out. So, sorry, Arms. Shameless plug time. So I do a microphone channel called Obscure Mics, okay?
Sorry, that's a Letterkenny thing.
Yeah, well, it's a lot of things, but definitely Letterkenny's one of them. But I do that channel, and I've met this absolutely fantastic dude. His name is Bronson. He runs the Audio Hotline mic review channel on YouTube. Absolutely great dude. And you know what this dude did? So he's seen our video quality on the podcast. He's seen my video quality on the Obscure Mics YouTube channel.
Probably laughed.
Well, yeah, it's not the greatest, but, you know, I work with what I've got. That's what she said. And dude sent me a professional camera in the mail.
Wow.
Like, got it today. It's sweet. Sent it to me.
That is
Made a special YouTube video, set it to private, sent me the link, and in that explained what he was going to do with the camera, and then he decided, you know what, this dude I met and that you chat with on YouTube needs better video quality. I'm going to pay it forward, send the dude a professional camera.
That's awesome, man.
Good stuff.
You, my friend, are a 5-star human being.
Yes, he is absolutely a 5-star human.
Now, it's not that everyone needs to send everyone a professional mic or professional camera or professional mic, but
No, right.
But honestly, just be that guy. Be a good person.
Be the thoughtful
pay it
human
forward,
being.
right?
Yeah, and you can bet on it. I'm going to pay it forward a couple times based off this one. So shout out there. We're probably going to have some better video quality down the line. Obscure Mics first. Back Row Fantasy Show, it might be a little more difficult. I've got to see if I can sync the audio up with the video and it not lag. We do such a long show that sometimes it gets off track, but I'm going to give it a shot.
And we also don't want to make sure our camera doesn't add 20 pounds to us.
Too late.
Yeah.
Too late.
We all have enough.
It's totally the camera.
Too late, man.
Totally. I'm 195. It added 60 pounds to me. This is horse crap.
Yeah. Well, you know, it is what it is. We are not small men.
All right, we're going to hit up some camp battles.
We're definitely going to hit up some camp battles. So, the first one on my mind is, just because we've talked about him a lot on Twitter lately, Paris Campbell. Is Paris Campbell going to wrangle a starting job away from the likes of Deion Kane? That's about it.
Well,
no, Devin Funchess. I mean, can Paris Campbell wrangle away a starting job from one of those
I mean, it's
guys?
hard to take a tight end's job
yeah, but
when you're a wide receiver.
I can also see him getting a shot early, but because Deion Kane's not going to be ready till probably halfway through the season, they said.
Yeah, I like Deion Kane.
I do too. I love him for obvious reasons, but like he's not going to be ready for a while anyway.
Am I the only guy who's like doesn't have any affection for Deion Kane? I hear people talking about Deion Kane all the time. I'm like,
He's just really good in college. One of my favorite teams.
okay, you know, Deion Kane, great. You made an NFL roster. It was T.Y. Hilton's show, and you're the other guy.
He had a good preseason too. He showed a lot of optimism, and they were excited about it. Then he got hurt.
There's lots of guys that had good preseasons and turned into nothing.
Right.
Yeah,
And,
absolutely.
And I just feel like this is, you know, my thoughts on Paris Campbell. I think he drops the ball too much. But there's no doubt in the world that Andrew Luck is a better quarterback than Dwayne Haskins.
Well, yeah.
There's
absolutely.
no question about that.
No question.
So if he kind of cures the drops and is just more consistent overall, Paris Campbell, jeez, crime. Shut up, Aaron. Paris Campbell could very easily work himself into wide receiver 2 on that team and work himself into wide receiver 3 territory for your fantasy team.
Yeah,
Because that's what really matters.
He's gonna be at least in the top 3 of their guys on the field, anyways. He's gonna be on the field regardless.
Oh yeah. I mean, the only thing I hate about Paris Campbell in this situation, he's a very similar guy to T.Y. Hilton. I mean, they do similar things.
Yeah, but I do think that I think Ty is more of that downfield threat, and I think that Paris Campbell can be their screen game, their slant game, shallow and take it downfield. Yep. I think they have similarities, but I think they're going to be used very, very differently.
So you think that Paris Campbell is, not to say he's a better receiver, but probably more versatile?
Yeah, I think he's going to be more versatile. I actually think that he could, since we're having Frank Fuego hot takes on the show, I'm going to go as far to say I think Paris Campbell could have more receptions than T.Y. Hilton. I'm going to go way out there.
I bet he also has more drops.
I'm going to go way out there on Paris with that one. Hot take from Bark.
100% chance he has more drops than T.Y.
I'm going to
Hilton
change my Twitter handle to Fuego Bark.
You shouldn't.
Now watch the punches. The glorified wide receiver. He's going to be just a possession guy's going to be getting 6 or 7 touchdowns now.
Yeah, it's going to be stupid.
The big dumb there.
the big dumb. No, I do. As much as I bashed on Campbell, he could not have landed in a better place.
No,
really couldn't.
No, he couldn't.
Like legitimately, if he doesn't fit a need that the Patriots have. He doesn't fit a need that the Chiefs have. He doesn't fit any other need like he does with Andrew Luck.
Let's keep it with wide receivers before we get Frank on here. Deebo Samuel. Is Deebo Samuel a lock to start? Can he wrestle away a starting job from the likes of Goodwin, Taylor,
Matthews, Pettis?
Matthews might get. I keep seeing Matthews might get cut. I'll believe it when I see it. But yeah, I mean, we know Pettis is locked in.
I agree.
Pettis is locked in. Is Deebo going to be locked in the slot or at the other outside spot?
Deebo is locked in at the slot. I guarantee that one.
I don't like Trent Taylor, so I mean, I think that's easy pickings for Deebo.
He's a significantly better slot than Trent Taylor. There's no doubt about that. So he's
Goodwin on the outside. I mean, I think their best lineup's Goodwin, Pettis, and Deebo.
I 100% agree. I mean, you put Trent Taylor back in the 4 wide.
Okay, well, I was just looking at it, telling Barker, their offense is actually kind of like, it's gross when you look at it depth chart wide with Kittle, if Jimmy G comes back, and that wide receiving core, that's pretty solid.
And I mean, if Jimmy G is what we thought he was and what we think he is, absolutely. Deebo Samuel could very easily be the number 1 wide receiver on the team. He could lead the team in receptions, he could lead the team in touchdowns, and lead the team in yards.
I almost want to buy some shares in the Goodwin too.
I have no faith in Goodwin, honestly. I'm completely over him. I took him, had him as a keeper. I took over a terrible rebuild.
It's a different year though, man. Different squad.
Yeah, I get it. And now he's the 3rd best receiver on the team. 4th once you count Kittle. No, there's no question about it. I'll take Dante Pettis all day over Goodwin.
I don't know. We haven't seen that yet.
100% of the time. There's no doubt in my mind that Goodwin he's a one-trick pony. That's the term you love to use. He's a downfield, run fast, go straight. He has 3 routes: flag, post, and fade. All right, great, good job.
The default Madden. Madden called.
You know what he is? Yeah, he's the guy on Madden that you end up with 300 receiving yards because he got past everyone because you backed your quarterback up too far.
The skinny post, yeah.
Guess what, guys? Fuego is in the house.
Is this Frank Bonacontri?
Oh, you boys have something coming to you.
Oh, the other Frank.
I've got a hang up button too, so just in case, if you're really gonna bring this so-called heat like you say you're going to, just be warned. I could hang up on you, and if you accept my call back 10 minutes later, that's up to you. But you've been fired up on the Twitter. I'm interested to see how fired up. I don't think there's no need to be too fired up, Frank. Let's still have a show. Let's talk about some position battles. But you know what? We're going to give you a few minutes. You go ahead and tee off. Go ahead, Frank. Bring exactly what you were wanting to bring.
Happy Gilmorris.
Happy Gilmorris. Put the gold jacket on us, brother.
All right. Well, first off, the whole you didn't want me coming back on the show.
I never said that.
You're here, aren't you?
I am here
We baited
by
you.
request.
Well,
You
yeah,
didn't
but
bait anything. First off, the last time I listened to this shit show was when I was on it the last time.
That's actually entirely not true because you listened to the show to know that we kind of
That's
talked
true.
about you. But anyhow, continue.
Because
Strike one.
because I was told that I should listen.
by me.
So I tuned in. Right. I tuned in and I heard you didn't want me on the show. The last time I was on the show, I lost followers, so I didn't really feel like I had to come on here anymore. right.
Well, we're sorry about that. We didn't mean to lose you followers. I'm really sad you went from 23 to 21. I'm not happy about it.
No, neither am I. So the next thing is Arms is talking junk about
There we go.
he's taking 3 quarterbacks.
There we go.
No, Aaron is talking junk.
Who the hell's Aaron?
That's you, brother.
You are.
ERIN.
Don't you start that.
ERIN.
Double A.
He's talking junk about me drafting 3 quarterbacks before round 7, and then saying that I was going to use them as trade bait. First off, I thought it was a super flex. That's my fault. I didn't check the rules. Second of all, I'm pretty sure it's worked out. in my
Hold on a
favor.
second. Serious, all jokes aside. That's you in that league? Why didn't you tell me? I'm serious as a heart attack. I didn't know that was you in that league.
You didn't know that was me in
No.
the Invitational League?
In the Brill.
No. That's not the league I'm talking about, dude.
What league are you talking about?
I'm talking about a league that through round 6, someone took Patrick Mahomes, Deshaun Watson, and Baker Mayfield.
Is that you, Frank?
No,
No, that is not.
they have.
Okay.
They don't. They're only running backs Aaron Jones, so that's an entirely different animal.
I did, however, take 3 quarterbacks in the Back Row Invitational, which is 1 QB, which I didn't know at the time.
And that's okay, I think. I mean, I don't think you should be faulted
Well,
for
we're
that.
also hold on a second. That's also a 16-teamer. The one I was talking about is a 12-teamer.
Yeah, well,
So I
even
do.
so, in that point, one quarterback, if I knew it was 1 quarterback before the hand, I would have never done that. But I think it turned out pretty well because I have 3 2020s, first and seconds.
You
for the
have
rest of it.
hustled your ass off. I will tell you that much.
And I know that Bark was talking about, he should work at a carnival because he
true.
can guess ages on the last
Absolutely.
show. Well, you look like you could work at a carnival, my friend.
He does look carney-ish.
Not enough face tattoos or anything.
Are you saying it's wrong to be that way?
He-
Like you try running a booth without yelling at hot moms, going like, "Hey MILF, you want
Yeah.
to come over here and throw the dart at the balloon? Hey MILF."
Guaranteed winner every year.
That's pure class, brother. That is pure class.
So I have a challenge I want for you and Arms, since y'all want to talk about my takes being shit and dumpster fires and all this other stuff. You and Arms, separately, I want y'all to each put 5 takes for the NFL season together. I'll take my 5 best. Whoever gets the most right wins.
I like
when
it.
I win, me and Neil become the new Back Row Fantasy Sports host.
That'd be game.
You don't want to be a part of this.
You don't even listen, remember?
You don't even listen. You
Yeah.
don't want to be a part
Why
of
do you
this.
want to take over the franchise?
Because I want to build it into something. I want to take it from WWF to WWF.
Wait, what?
WWE. I want to
Or
build it like
AEW.
Vince
Frank,
McMahon
are you
built
nervous right now?
AEW.
Frank, calm
I'm
down.
not nervous.
Put in a chew,
Calm
take a
your
drink of a beer, and come back.
I'm
Break-
drinking.
Break
I'm drinking some Michelob Ultra
That's
Pure
the perfect-
Gold.
No. I said a beer.
Yeah, a beer, a man
Not
beer.
not like a really like a slightly alcoholic water.
not,
Arms.
not,
You're drinking a lemon shandy.
You don't want to drink Summer's Eve.
They taste so good though, man.
We can't
Oh,
say
yeah.
much, right? Yeah.
Dude, they taste
They're
so
tasty.
good.
They do. It's
It's
summer
like
thing.
drinking lemonade.
It makes us feel like
Look.
LMFAO
I don't know what that is, but
or
alright.
that band or UFO. What's it? Summertime. What's that summertime song?
I don't know. But continue.
Girl something something a lot.
Sublimely said it's summertime.
Chinese food makes me sick. That's how I
All
feel
jokes
when
aside.
drinking shandy in the summer.
All jokes aside, I love all 3 of y'all.
No, we love you too. We wouldn't even dare talk crap if we weren't fans of Frank. Now, do I think your takes are sometimes garbage-ish? No, I wouldn't go that far. Your takes are hot. Your takes are hot.
They're not
But-
tepid,
but
right?
they're real.
As the words
You-
I said,
you,
you're
you
pretty
stand by
extreme.
them.
You're
You
pretty
stand
extreme,
by
but you don't back down.
Nope.
And
So something-
I give you props, man. You were the first person to call the slide of Todd Gurley.
So
Quit with that
so something
crap.
well, it's
Todd
true.
Gurley's
First-
not okay. Maybe he slid in the draft, but like nothing's happened yet.
But if
Hold on.
it wasn't for his knee, which he called before we knew about the knee injury,
No.
February 22nd is when I was on last. February 22nd was on last, and I said that they were worried about his knees, and that just because they weren't going to re-sign C.J. Anderson doesn't mean they weren't going to do anything to secure their running back position. And what did they do? They traded up and took a running back because they know something's wrong with Gurley's knees.
They took a good one too.
A very good one.
Yeah. I'm kind of jealous that I've not landed him in a single draft so far. I haven't really been targeting him, but I still was hoping he'd fall to me here or there.
money cures all ails. A little stem cell therapy, and he's gonna be fine.
I disagree.
I don't.
Money cures everything.
I really do
Magic
think Todd
Johnson,
Gurley-
Magic Johnson had AIDS. $100 bills would cure a lot of diseases, especially arthritic knees. Continue.
Anyways, so Frank, we started digging in to some of these positional battles, rookie-wise. We kind of touched on Paris Campbell, whether he can win a starting job, Deebo Samuel. We talked about one other.
That
Or
was
did
it.
we?
That was it.
Yeah, we stopped
But
at Debo.
give us your quick takes on those two guys. Is Deebo Samuel a lock to start? Is Paris Campbell a lock to start? And then we'll kind of take it from there. And you can throw your Fuego stuff at us anytime you want. It's unscripted tonight.
You gonna tell us Jalen Hurd's gonna be the leading receiver for
I think
San
Hurd's
Fran?
got a. I think he's solid.
Oh, shut up. Jalen Hurd?
So one thing I wanted to-
Yes.
Whatever.
One thing I want to say is I will say that I've noticed over, I don't know, like the last 3 or 4 months that a lot more people are coming out with hot takes. There's like apparently a hot take dynasty podcast now.
Uh-oh. It's rubbing off,
I
Frank.
think I just think it's hilarious because like I was on Trade Addicts pod a couple weeks ago and Russ
Good pod.
brought it to, awesome. Russ, Dynasty Outhouse said himself that I might say some crazy shit, but I stand by it. Unlike other people who are just there yelling and screaming. And that's the same thing Tyler told me when he brought me on DHH. He said, no matter what you say, you stand by it, which is, what we want. I'm just a sign guy for DHH, like I tell everybody else on all the other pods. I just stand there on the street corner, waving the Dynasty Happy Hour sign, saying, "Come on in, we got great stuff."
Spinning the sign,
like the
Signs
Little
better.
Caesar sign.
the tax guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah,
if
I'm
anybody
standing
knows about
there.
the tax guys.
And, the Liberty or the Statue of Liberty.
They
There
have
you
those
go.
down there?
There you go. Liberty
We
tax.
thought that was an Ohio thing, to where the dude dressed up as Statue of Liberty and spun the sign. We thought that was an Ohio thing.
So Paris Campbell, let's be honest, like it's Devin Funchess. I'm not worried. The only thing I'm worried about is maybe Deion Kane, but at the same time, like he's coming off an injury. Like they got some pretty high draft capital in Paris Campbell. I think they'll give him his opportunity to shine.
But what about when he
Um,
starts dropping balls like David and Njoku?
But he's gonna have a lot of time to at least prove himself before Dion gets.
Oh,
back.
you're right. You're right.
Frank.
Why
There you are.
why do you think he's going to drop passes?
Because I watch Ohio State football.
It is true. He doesn't have the best hands, but I mean,
The-
there's been other receivers that have developed and fixed their hand.
Name one.
Right? Not off the top of my head.
Okay.
But you know that there have been
Plaxico
not,
Burress.
Hey,
is
not
the
every
example.
receiver that
There's some all-time greats who have had bad hands, such as Ocho, T.O.
there you go.
But most of their the critiques about them came towards the end of their career, whenever they got gator arms, because going
And
across
T.O.
the-
had it pretty bad.
Yeah, he did. T.O. wasn't like, money every time you threw it to him. It's just when he caught it, you better watch out. And I
And I
think
watch
that's
out-
the same with Paris Campbell. Like, when he gets his hands on the ball, you should probably watch out
Oh, it's
because he can take it straight upfield.
He is a special athlete. There's no doubt in my mind. He can be an absolute stud, and if he can work through, usually it's a confidence thing when it comes to drops. If he works through that, by all means, the kid could be a stud, and I hope he is. As an Ohio State fan, I always like rooting for our own. So
These I actually still don't think he's gonna be good. That's just me. I mean, he's gonna get his chance to start. I don't see it.
He wasn't exactly a top prospect going into the draft. So I mean, it is debatable. There's none of us here can be like, you're crazy. Now I'll say you're crazy about Jalen Hurd, but
but
we
you can
digress.
He can work on his hands. They got the jug machines that they can put him on for 6 hours a day until, you know what I mean? Like, Amari Cooper's not a great pass catcher. Like he drops a lot of passes.
No. And a lot of it's muscle memory. A lot of it is putting him on the jugs machine for hours on end and making it second nature to know how to catch a friggin' ball. I mean, in college, I think they worry less about you actually catching the ball than being downfield and explosive and, capitalizing on when you do catch it. NFL's not going to stand for that. I mean, you can't catch it. You're not going to be out there. Paris Campbell's
Stands
gonna
for
learn
not
real
for
quick.
long when you can't catch a damn ball.
Absolutely. So let's move on a little bit. I'm really interested. I want to talk Miles Sanders as far as like, can he? And I'm not talking about guys who can win the job midway through the year. We've done that in our analysis. I'm talking about guys who can win the job in camp. So, and not every one of these I think are going to do that, but I want to talk about guys that it's debatable. So is Miles Sanders going to beat out that dumpster fire of running backs that Philadelphia has and be the week 1 starter? I think he will.
I don't think he starts week 1, but I think he pulls like a Nick Chubb and something happens to where he's starting by week 4 or 5. My personal opinion on it.
So it's Jordan Howard is the man in question. I mean, Jordan Howard is going to start unless Miles Sanders can beat him.
Yeah.
I would be happy if he, like we talked about last week. I wish he was a Westbrook. I mean, they had thousands of touches a year. They need that, but I don't know.
It's a lot of touches. Thousands.
Yeah. He
He
probably
had like Eddie,
Like, you got to average 2 yards carry and 1,000 touches.
he had like Eddie George / like Earl Campbell numbers as far as like the amount of touches he had between.
Oh,
running.
yeah.
It was
Yeah, yeah.
insane. They haven't had that since then.
Frank, Miles Sanders, can he beat out the competition, or is it going to be a few games for him?
So what I think is, yes, I think he could, but I also think what they're going to do is do what Chicago did last year, is Jordan Howard's the goal line back, and he's in between the tackles, and then Miles Sanders is the Tariq Cohen all over the field kind of running back.
Well, and that's
I mean,
fine, but
at least
which
this
one of
year-
them is going to walk out first carry of the game week 1?
Starting is one
Jordan
play.
Okay.
So my thing with it is, Miles Sanders is, to kind of go against your argument, he is not a Tariq Cohen-like player. He's more of an all-around back, where Cohen is clearly and obviously a pass-catching guy. Cohen is the guy who wants to, fan out to the flats, that type of play, run screens, whereas Miles Sanders has the ability to run the ball. I mean, if it wasn't for, Saquon Barkley and Sanders put up those numbers for 3 years in a row, we'd be talking about him as one of the best running backs in this year's draft class.
See, but I think Miles Sanders is more comparable to how Kamara was coming out. Like, we didn't really know a lot about Kamara when he came out.
I'll buy that.
He can run
Yeah,
the ball through.
Sanders
between
had
the
1
tackles.
year. It's fair.
Sanders had 1 year. He sat behind Barkley. Like, what is he going to be able to do? You know what I mean? Like, is he going to be as slippery as Kamara is? Or
There's not very many of those in the league, but I get you.
But I'm saying, like, we haven't seen his full plethora of skills. And I mean, they got a lot of running backs. Like, they're obviously going to cut a few, I would think. I would
Yeah.
think Josh is probably gone.
Smallwood,
I
I
would think-
don't know about him either.
Smallwood's probably toast, yeah.
I think they keep Clement just because of his pass catching ability as well. And I don't know how I mean, who knows at that point. But I think they keep Clement if they're going to transition, not this year, but next year, to Miles Sanders being like the full down, 3 down back.
But doesn't it always feel like Smallwood is the guy who's getting cut that never gets cut?
He will now.
Isn't that the way it feels with him? You're like, all
It's a long
right,
time coming.
He will now.
Smallwood's
It's the
on the
same-
roster bubble. He's about to go. They've got too many running backs, and Smallwood makes the roster. What the hell? And they've still got what, Donnell Pumphrey?
Nah.
Is he still?
I mean, he might
I know
be
he's
on the
never done
practice
anything. I get
squad.
it, but
Okay.
It's the same thing with Jordan Matthews. Like, Jordan Matthews is the guy you're like, there's no way he's making the team this year. And then he goes out and he makes the team. And then he's, like,
Decent.
on the field for 60% of the passes. And I'm like,
Yeah.
he's one that I don't see how they keep him on the team in San Francisco. Which, speaking of Fuego takes, Jimmy G, QB1 overall. I love that they got Depot. I love that they got Hurd. They got Goodwin. They got Pettis. They got Kittle. They got Min, they got Breida, they got
Debo.
McKinnon, Debo. They got a bunch of weapons.
Right, but I don't. Okay, I agree with you there. But Kittle's the only established.
That's
weapon.
what I was getting ready to say. The
I
only
don't-
person
I don't
who's
think-
No, Breida was good while he was healthy last year.
I'm talking just strictly in the passing game. I mean, for Jimmy Garoppolo to be QB
Pettis
one
wasn't-
overall, like multiple guys are going to have to break out, not just Pettis.
Wasn't horrible, and Goodwin's got over the top speed. You know,
And to be fair, Jimmy G was putting up numbers of a bunch of trash too. As a wide receiver core.
but
For
All right.
a very limited amount of time.
Yeah, I'm saying, but he was. I mean, we got the small sample size.
I just don't think San Francisco's ready to catapult Jimmy G to one overall.
I agree.
ooh, I got one for camp battles.
Oh, okay, good.
This is maybe a little Fuego take.
Okay.
I think Justice Hill takes the first carry for the Ravens this year.
Oh
I-
man, that's
I-
super hot.
I don't disagree.
What? I'm
Justice
a Justice Hill truther. Like, I like the kid a lot in Baltimore, but yeah, Mark Ingram's going to be toting the rock well into the season
Listen,
before Justice Hill.
I think
gets
Mark.
chance.
I think that they're going to try to duplicate in some way, shape, or form what the Saints did with Ingram and Kamara.
All right, hold on. First of all, whoa. First of all, my whole argument about Ingram going there, when everybody's like, "Oh, Ingram's going to be good in Baltimore," like he was good here
He was.
because we have Drew, we have Kamara, we have Thomas. Like they weren't stacking the box. Like everybody knows what Baltimore's going to do, and nobody's afraid of Lamar Jackson's arm. So
there,
they're going
there
to
you go.
Lamar Jackson
agree.
beat him. Ingram's cannot run well when there's 7-8 guys in the box. He's never done it. You know, he wasn't a really good goal line back here.
And Justice Hills will go see a lot of snaps, I assume, in preseason, while Ingram will not.
I think Justin Hill does the whole like RPO. He's the RPO back.
Justice.
If Ingram, that's not Ingram's. That's not Ingram's. What did I say, Justin?
Yeah, you're good.
Justin. Sorry.
We know
But
what you meant.
I was
Yeah,
just
well,
talking about the
think
girls'
RPO
clothing line. I went to Justice yesterday.
I think he's the RPO back in Baltimore.
I like Justice Hill a ton, but as far as first carry of the season, I mean, Ingram's going to get all the opportunity in the world. But I do agree with you. I do think it's going to be a heck of a lot harder for Ingram to find running room, and I think they're going to find out that Justin Hill can make it on
It's
his own.
Justice Hill.
Justin now. Justin.
Okay. Anyhow,
But I don't hate that take. I mean, I think Ingram's the guy, but I like your thinking behind it.
I think everyone has some love for the speed and agility that Hill has, and as far as his ability to be a game breaker, like Ingram's a grinder, right? He's the kind of guy that just barrels into the line 3 or 4 yards, rinse, lather, repeat. Whereas Justice Hill could crack it for 70 in theory. You know, the way that he makes his moves, he could be a damn fine player in the NFL. I like Justice Hill next year as a fantasy asset, like a flex type play.
Let's move on. I like that you brought that one up. He was probably going to come up eventually, but you went straight for it, and that's what we brought you on for. Some of the fuego. Devin Singletary, Frank, Arms, Neil. There's, the writing is on the wall that the Bills could save a lot of money by cutting LaShawn McCoy. I give that a 50-50 chance of happening, but I don't believe Frank Gore is going to get the same kind of carries as he did in Miami. Adam Gase loved the guy. Adam Gase is a crazy asshole. But, I mean, TJ Yeldon was brought in very, very late. I think Devin Singletary at least has I'm going to give him a 40% shot to earn the role out of camp. I don't think it happens, but I do think that he opens some eyes in camp and they consider it, but it doesn't happen.
So I don't think he takes first carry. I don't think he's a starter, but I think by game 6 that we're looking at Singletary and Yeldon as the two backs that you want to own in that offense.
I think Gord's going to stay just for the locker room reasons.
Yeah, but
So McCoy, I see, like Barker said, I see him being going. I can see Singletary starting right off the rip.
I think it's possible.
That's a good. That's a good take for me. I think 100%. I believe that. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. You can at me. I don't care. But
Fuego Neil.
but like McCoy's old, Gore's old, but everybody loves Gore's locker room presence apparently. So he's staying, and I'll see him. Hey, let's get a rock to Frank Gore, who's older than my grandpa. You know what I mean? So I
And
don't see it
forget,
happening.
Boy had a lot of bullshit come out before the season started last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know,
Truth.
I mean, I could see them trading McCoy before cutting him.
And you remember?
I don't think
there's,
they get value out of him. That's where the problem is.
I think they
If
could.
they get a fifth rounder,
Yeah, what if there's an injury in camp? I mean, that's the perfect time to dangle Gore, or not Gore, but LaShawn McCoy on a string. You got an injury in camp to a team that doesn't have great depth. I mean, maybe the Jets are stupid. They trade Le'Veon Bell, and then they go out and grab LaShawn McCoy. Who knows?
I think McCoy's worth like a sixth or something. I think Fitz is ambitious at that.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like they're going to get pennies on the dollar for him if they get anything out of
A
him.
McChicken or something.
Yeah,
I'll tell you somewhere I'd like to see LaShawn McCoy go as a veteran presence and a guy that could carry the ball 10 times a game. Green Bay Packers.
oh, they've got DJ in Arizona. I think they'll be fine.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
Green Bay, I know there's some Aaron Jones truthers out there, and I like Aaron Jones. I think he's a solid back, but I don't think you could do wrong by pairing him up with LaShawn McCoy and changing the way they play football a little bit in Green Bay.
ooh, speaking of Green Bay, training camp battle. Sternberger.
I hope Jace gets it.
Sternberger, tight end 1. Jimmy Graham, tight end 2.
I think neither one of them are fantasy relevant.
Well, yeah, but we are.
I think
I agree.
Anybody attached to Aaron Rodgers in a passing game could be fantasy relevant.
could be, but tight ends never are.
Not
But
never.
Not
More-
yeah,
more
I-
often they are
one
not.
time with the Black Unicorn. I mean, the one time Martell's Bennett. That's it.
Jermichael Finley was okay here and there.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not saying I'm not disagreeing with you. You're right. More often than not, tight end is not a premium position to own for, Green Bay Packers.
That's also in the previous system. So
Right. But, I think Sternberger at least has a chance. I don't think it happens. I think Jimmy Graham gets a little bit of a fire lit under him and actually, walks into that job fairly easy.
I think you can mark it down. I think Jace probably he'll have better numbers than him.
Oh, he'll probably have better numbers.
No,
but I-
Fuego Neal.
No, but I think Jace will have a better season than Jimmy.
I think Jimmy Graham's going to have 5 touchdowns. I mean, I just don't.
Jimmy Graham has literally done nothing since he left the Big Easy.
That's what I'm saying. He's only going to have 5 touchdowns. He's not going to be a productive tight end. I mean, we're talking like tight end 15 to 20.
I think Aaron's going to
Daniel Fells might
Jace.
have more touchdowns than him this year.
No, that's not going to happen.
I mean, shit, Jimmy Graham is just—he's not what he used to be. He's not. There's no chance that he's going to be
he
featured.
hasn't been anything.
I think the biggest factor is to Jimmy Graham getting starting job is that whole he's a veteran. He's earned his job, so to speak, over the years. And I'll disagree. I think Jimmy Graham will get the start, and I think all through the season he'll actually be the tight end 1. But whenever it comes to passing downs, I think they will work Sternberger in.
Let's work our way down the line. DK Metcalf.
Turd. Sorry.
Well, regardless if he's a turd or not, he's still gonna get the day 1 start.
He's starting. That's my most confident right now. Like
Yeah.
whether he
I have
deserves
anybody
to
really.
or
He's going to
not.
start. He's going to start right off the rip.
Yeah, they're depleted. Tyler Lockett is going to play the slot, which means you got to have at least one outside guy. That's going to be Metcalf, at least for a while. I know you hate him, Arms.
Dude,
I can
he's
see
going
your
to be
face.
such hot garbage.
I don't think he's going to be hot garbage. I just don't think he's going to be that good.
But he'll get a shot, of course. But I think Ursula will probably end up getting him towards the end of the year. I like his game so far.
Who?
Ursula, I think that's how you say his name.
No Gary Jennings?
Yeah, I'm loving me some Gary Jennings.
I
Like,
like Jennings too, but I don't think he's above
Frank,
Ursula.
go ahead.
DK Metcalf to me is going to be the biggest bust from this draft, in my opinion. I don't think he can do anything. I've gone back and forth on Twitter, but with Jake Anderson about the DK Metcalf thing.
We could all agree on this.
The Jake Anderson that called that dude a misogynist. Is that the Jake Anderson we're talking about?
Yeah, well,
Oh, man.
Jake didn't call him a misogynist.
No.
He was called-
I didn't read anything, so I'm not taking sides. I see the Twitter battle, and I never did bother to go back and even look any of it up because Frank, I don't care that much. But it was like, I don't know. I see a Twitter battle, and I do at least read that, but I don't backtrack. Not exactly worth the time, but
Well, I mean, it was just that's a whole different
Out of
discussion.
context, basically. You can clear it up for me right now instead of me reading. Was it just a all out of context kind of thing?
Matt Kelly said something about Jake was attacking this female analyst on Twitter, and all Jake was doing was like talking to her about I don't even remember what player it was. They were going back. Oh, it was Alexander Madison, and they were going back and forth. They weren't arguing. They weren't. Neither of them being negative. And then like Matt Kelly just like called him a misogynist, like out of nowhere.
Well, that doesn't make sense. I mean, good God, the girls that are in the industry, I have the utmost respect for the Ball Blast girls. For
they're good.
you know,
There's a lot of
Casey
them that
Kasem. There's a whole lot of them. Denver Bronco fan. What's her name? Bronco Jen or Bronco Jenna. There's so many of them that just have really good takes. And but at the same time, like you got to treat them the same way as everyone else. If you don't agree with them, tell them you don't agree with them.
Right, but Jake wasn't doing that. Like they
Right,
weren't even
exactly.
arguing, angry. They were just like talking about stats back and forth and this and that. And like Matt Kelly came out of nowhere, like on his podcast one day and started like name dropping him and calling him like it's just
Well,
That guy must be angry. I don't think he likes us either.
I was gonna say, I will tell you right now, point blank, Kate, Michelle, if I disagree with you, I will wholeheartedly let you know. I'm not gonna like bash you as a human being and
No.
be like, oh, you're a girl, you don't know what you're talking about. No, that's childish. But if I disagree with
Bravo,
what you're
Becca.
saying, you know what I mean? It's like, I'm gonna let you. I'll say, yeah, but what about this? The same way I would against you, Frank. Same way I'd, knock on Bark with with takes. He's on the same damn show.
Sorry, Bronco
like-
Becca is who I was trying to think of. I don't want to call her Bronco Jen. Bronco Becca.
like Kate and Michelle, like they've taken off, which is great for them because their podcast is awesome. They're good interactions on Twitter and
Absolutely.
Yep.
Thanks,
But-
Foster.
Kate put out the divisional things, and like all these people, were like, oh, get back in the kitchen. You don't know what you're talking about. Like, are you serious?
Yeah,
Like,
I
That's
saw-
a closed-minded way of thinking.
I saw that. I saw somebody attack
Yeah.
one of the Ball Blast girls with that crap, and it's like, dude, if you were asking to get Twitter crucified,
Right.
there you go. Your
I'm not
your,
offended.
your wish is our command because
Hey.
we're all coming to bat for them.
No doubt, and it has nothing to do with them being girls. It's like, dude, have you listened to their podcast? They're actually good.
Well spoken, everything.
Like,
Podcast is better than most of the podcasts I listen. That
odds
I already
are,
like.
odds are, whoever the other podcast is that bashes them, they're probably better than you. Listen to them, and you'll realize it.
yeah.
That's right. That's why I bash arms. I'm just better
Look.
than him.
Absolutely.
there's only a certain amount of time in each day, and like I only have like the handful of podcasts that I listen to, which I feel bad because I feel like I should listen to more.
It's hard.
But,
though.
like,
It is hard.
I even listen on 2 times, like, and it's still rough to get through like a bunch of them. But like, I
There's
listen to Trade Addicts, I listen to our DHHs, I listen to y'all, I listen to
I thought you didn't listen to us.
Crossroads. I was joking. I
we,
listened to
we, already,
Crossroads.
we already all made up and kissed. But yeah, you're right. There's a bunch.
There's only like 6 or 7 that I listened to, and I added Ball Blast after the first time. I think the first one I listened to was when they were doing the chugging contest, and I added them because they actually know what the fuck they're talking about.
Yeah, they do.
That's
I do
actually,
agree.
I think, the first one I listened to. Pretty
I
music.
listened
I
to
mean,
the first one
it's a
first
half
one.
of Michelob Ultra, though. Come on,
Yeah, that's all. I call
Frank. I want to do a chugging contest against you, though.
We can do that anytime you want.
I love it.
Rock and roll, baby.
Let's get back on track. So,
Yeah, Seattle.
yeah,
So,
I think we've all
DK
agreed that DK. I think we can all agree DK is going to start, right? It's not the question of whether we think he's going to be a bust or not, but can we all agree?
Yeah, he's starting.
he's going to start.
Begrudgingly, he will start, and everyone will be disappointed.
barring injury. He's obviously.
No. This is actually what's going to happen. He's going to catch a ball for 70 yards and touchdown. Like, that's why they picked him. That's why the next game he drops like 3.
Pete Carroll will be like, "See what we got there in the second round? You see that? You see that? See that catch?
So Pete Carroll's
70 yards.
Pete Carroll's gonna be ripping his shirt off on
Oh,
the
yeah.
sideline.
doing the spiral hand in the ear like Hulk Hogan, like telling the crowd to give
Petey
it to him for
Pablo.
drafting him.
See though, hold on.
Take your shirt off.
In Russell Wilson's career, he's never had a good relationship with wide receivers over 6 feet. That's what Gary Jennings is, and that's what Metcalf is.
I like that.
Now, I'm talking like they said. I think somebody put it out on Twitter. I can't remember what his name is, and I apologize to whoever it is. But he said that 5% of all of Russell Wilson's passings over his whole career have gone to, or have been completed to wide receivers over 6 feet. which is baffling to me. But I guess if you think he's had Baldwin and he's had Lockett, but Ursa is almost the same kind of player as Baldwin was. Baldwin was undrafted. The Seahawks traded up and took Ursa. They had similar kind of stats in college. They're both 5'11". I think one's 185 and one's 190. And I think Ursa's the one that's going to – like, they traded back up into the draft to pick this kid.
Right.
So they didn't want him to get to the free agency. They knew – they knew that Baldwin's knees and his physical wasn't good. So I think they went in there to get Baldwin's replacement. And if that's the case, you got him on one side, Lockett in the middle, and you're going to have Metcalf on the outside. Well, Metcalf can only do one thing, and that's run straight, and he can only stay on one side of the field. That's all he did in college.
I do agree, though. I do think he's going to be pretty swell. I picked him up in free agency. I didn't get a draft him.
I mean, go ahead.
I've picked him up everywhere I can because I think he's going to be the Doug Baldwin replacement. And everybody's like, "Oh, well, draft capital, this, that." Like, and I went on a whole spiel a week ago, bringing out all these undrafted wide receivers that have had good careers or ones that are taken in 5, 6, 7. You don't have to be taken in the first 3 rounds.
No.
We've seen that before, that all these wide receivers that are taken in the first 3 rounds don't pan out.
Right.
Draft capital only works for the first year to get on the field, and then your talent's going to take over, or your work ethic, and it's just you're going to fail.
I mean, look at Laquan Treadwell, look at Josh Dotson. I mean, prime examples as to why draft capital will get you your opportunity, but it won't lead to success.
Right. And speaking of those kind of guys, Sammy Watkins came to mind a little bit there. And let's talk about Mecole Hardman for a minute.
I'm still stewing about that.
Well, let's talk about Mecole. Let's to me, this one isn't as cut and dry as a lot of people think because nothing's happened to Tyreek Hill yet. So we have to bring that into the discussion and project whether something actually does happen to Tyreek.
That's not necessarily true. Tyreek is on the commissioner exempt list.
Yeah.
So as of right now, he can take part in no team activities of any sort.
Correct, but something's got to happen as the season draws near. Is he going to be suspended? Is he not? As Mecole Hardman, we'll get off Tyreek Hill since we brought that up. Mecole Hardman, is he going to come out of camp with a starting spot or not?
I say no.
I say no.
I don't see it either. If
Mother effer took him in the first round, but no, I'm just joking.
we're a dynasty.
Okay.
But the arguments, let's not get off topic pretty much here. It's like I don't see him starting.
Personally, here's what I'm going to say. I think Patrick Mahomes could make a garbage man an effective receiver in the NFL.
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to get into, but that's not the context right now.
But I mean, it kind of works to that though. He's got familiarity with what he's got. I don't think that it turns Sammy Watkins into a superstar, but I do think that he's going to, get more players involved than you were expecting.
I do love Sammy, you know that, but he can't stay healthy. But I doubt he even plays in preseason, so Sammy's gonna be on the field first.
Agreed.
Frank?
I think he'll play in the slot. I don't think he's going to take Sammy's spot. But if we're arguing if he's taking Sammy's spot, I say no.
No, he won't take Sammy's spot on
fields.
The great
I don't
Sammy
think he'll
Watkins.
take Sammy's spots even if Tyreek comes back unless Sammy gets hurt.
I actually agree as well, and it's not because I think Sammy's good. I mean, come on.
I was on
Demarcus Robinson's going to, he's going to be there too, and there's at least some familiarity with them. I mean, they had some success last year with him. Right there's your steal number 2. Mecole Hardman could develop into somebody good, but the guy wasn't a superstar in college by any stretch of imagination.
Yeah, but Georgia doesn't throw the ball a ton. I'm not trying I was on Dynasty X podcast. We did a 2-round mock with 6 of us or whatever.
Yep.
And I took Nicole, I think, at 109 just because of the opportunity. If he gets on the field with Patrick Mahomes, who I think regresses this year, but still,
he has to.
yeah. Kind of hard to go up, right?
Yeah.
If he does, that's been scary.
Yeah, if he does, put him in the Hall of Fame. Don't even wait till he's done playing. Just go ahead and put him in the Hall.
And if he does, Kelsey's going to have 300 catches for 3,000 yards.
Yep.
As much as I wanted to be on the old Kittle for TE1 without Tyreek Hill, good Lord.
Yeah,
Travis Kelce's going to be just stupid good this year.
should be, yeah. Let's move on to a stickier situation, in my opinion. Let's move to Arizona, and let's say who comes out with starting jobs there, because you got Fitz, he's going to start, we know that.
Absolutely.
But you got Isabella, you got Hakeem Butler, and you have Keyshawn Johnson, which a lot of pundits are saying is the most pro-ready guy to play on the outside. So who's it going to be? Is it going to be Fitz, Isabella, and Butler?
You
Is
forget about
Keyshawn
Kirk?
going to take one of those? Is Kirk going to start in the slot? Like there's Kirk too. I mean, it's pretty crowded with, once again, unprovens outside of Fitz. It's kind of like the San Francisco situation, except muddier, in my opinion.
I think you pencil in Fitz and Kirk.
Yes, and I think that your number 3 is Johnson.
I think eventually it will be Johnson, but I think Chad Williams will get the initial start.
So what the heck are they going to do with Isabella? They spent a pretty high pick on him.
They did.
I mean, but I don't see them starting him off the rip. They might. I mean, my best guess. I mean, I could probably beat out Chad Williams if I tried, but but
Eat
Kirk
chicken and rice
Fitzgerald-
for a couple weeks.
Yeah. Stop drinking beer and eating carbs, right?
Well, since you gave your take, I'm going to stick with Isabella. I had him as a top 10 receiver before the draft. I have him as not quite a top 10 after the draft because it is muddy there in Arizona, but I do think that I even hate to say starter. I guess I'll say snap count. Isabella will be.
He'd be alongside Kirk and
Yeah, I think he'll be right alongside those
Maybe.
guys. But man, it wouldn't shock anybody if Butler or Keyshawn.
See, I'm a 100% anti-Butler. Like, I think Butler completely busts.
But I do
is a
think
bust.
Keyshawn
I think he's going to be garbage.
Keyshawn will be the better one, I think, at the end of the day.
I don't mind Butler.
I think Keyshawn is going to be the eventual, like, somewhat of a Larry Fitzgerald replacement as he kind of, goes away, as he retires. Like, that's going to be your big guy, bigger guy, I guess, because Isabella's like 4'6". Isabella will work his way into the slot, and I think he's going to be a productive slot guy. I mean, just look at what Kyler Murray did with Hollywood Brown. Like, have that guy who can, run those quick routes, the quick slants, and get open, get downfield. Like, I love his potential, but if you put a gun to my head and said who's got the best opportunity to start outside of Fitz, and I do think Kirk starts. I mean, I feel like it's Keyshawn Johnson.
Plus, Kirk's going to get like I think there might be some bias too between Kirk and Murray being both Texas A&M guys. Not Texas A&M guys, but the same conference familiarity.
Yep.
Okay. Frank, what about you? What you got? Who you like?
So, the only problem, the reason it's more muddier than San Francisco is because every wide receiver in Arizona is more talented than the ones in San Francisco, in my opinion.
I don't dispute that.
I think, honestly,
Yeah, if you go 1-to-1, yeah, I mean,
I mean,
You got
the
Fitzgerald,
one
then you got,
versus the
like,
one.
Debo.
Yeah, no, I get it, but I'm not going to knock Debo versus Christian Kirk. Like, that's fair. That's a little closer than you want to accept.
Christian Kirk had Josh Rosen, who didn't have time to do anything last year. Like, you can't. I think Christian Kirk's the best wide receiver out of anybody we're talking about in Arizona. I think he will be for years.
yeah, he's gonna be starting for sure, and I think he's gonna be productive.
I think Isabella starts in the slot because he's too talented. Like, if you watch Isabella tapes, like, he was at UMass and, like, was just dicking people up, like, in Massachusetts. Like, he's faster. He cuts. He's got great cutting ability. He can stop on a dime, and he's got crazy speed. And he almost, like, when I was watching him, which it sounds weird because they don't play the same position, but when I was watching his highlight tape, he reminded me of McCaffrey when McCaffrey was at Stanford.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now by that.
I like that too.
What, McCaffrey being like Buff Bagwell now?
Jesus.
But the do all make people miss.
Yeah.
Dude looks like powder got jacked on roids.
Right.
Like, his arms are just glaring white pieces of just muscle meat.
He needs it.
Well, he knows Cam's shoulder's done.
Yeah.
So Will Greer's gonna run that show, boys.
He's got to become Atlas now and put the world on his shoulders and run downfield with it.
I said this Fuego take a couple weeks ago. Cam's done after this year.
I hope go Will Greer.
Big
He only had,
Will Greer fan
look,
Neil.
Cam drafted. I mean, Cam's cap hit if they cut him after this year is like $2 million,
Yeah, it's like next to nothing.
$6 million or something like that, which is nothing to an NFL team, especially drafting a Will. Where did they draft Will Greer? Like the fourth round,
third?
third round.
Yeah.
Knowing that Cam's shoulders probably not, and Cam's not going to change his playing ability, but he's still going to, try to do the runs and take beatings. So, I think Cam's done. But going back to, I think it's going to be Isabella. I think it's Isabella, Johnson, Butler in that order for the 3 rookies they drafted.
Okay. Let's get back on the quarterback train. Does Dwayne Haskins take the job in Washington?
Hands down, no doubt about it. Week 1.
Yes.
Okay.
He may
I
not
agree.
even be running with the ones like part of the way through the preseason. Just like, hey, I don't need the reps. You know what I mean? Like he's going to take a series.
There could be smoke screens, but he's starting day 1.
Freaking, if I'm, like, I said this on draft night when they took him. Biggest mistake that the Giants ever made, because now this kid gets to play you for 2 times a year for the next 10 years. And he's going to remember that you took Daniel fucking Jones over him.
Is that his
And
middle
he
name?
Yeah,
It's actually Daniel Fuck Up Jones, but
Arms, language.
he just said it.
We let the guests
hey,
talk like
we
that.
are an example.
Potty
Wait,
mouth.
Bark, didn't you? Whoa, Bark, you were throwing F-bombs on the last episode.
I was half drunk. Okay,
Drink another one.
I was half drunk.
Don't criticize Arms.
I do.
Thank
Okay.
you, Frank.
I'm gonna pull a dictator card here. I run this shit. If I want to talk, if I want to
So-
cuss one episode and not the next, I
It's
will.
already open. It's already open.
Yeah.
So one of my post NFL draft takes that I put out was Dwayne Haskins and McLaurin are going to be the next Peyton Manning and Marvin Harrison.
That's why I'm really high on McLaurin right now. I think he's gonna be starting day
I have
1.
taken
too.
McLaurin everywhere for next to nothing.
Yeah, as I said,
Oh yeah, you can get him cheap.
Ball Blast hated me for it, but I think McLaurin's gonna be.
I take
insane.
McLaurin, and I honestly think that he's going to build some stupid rapport with Harmon
Right.
too. I think
He
that
already had.
Freaking love Kelvin Harmon, man. I am not straying away from
And
him.
at the Senior Bowl, like everybody loved McLaurin too. Like Gruden's loved him to death, and I see him being the star there.
I have legitimately got both Washington wide receivers, both the bigger name rookies, in every rookie draft I've taken.
Can
Every
I-
single one of them.
Can I remind you that you laughed at me when I talked about Terry McLaurin?
That's before he went to
That's before he
the draft?
went with his boy.
Okay, I just wanted to say.
and a wide receiver.
And he's also
situation.
not a top 10 receiver in this year's draft.
Okay, I just wanted to throw that
I'm
out there
just-
that you laughed at me.
You pegged him as a first rounder.
Okay, all right.
I
It's
think
okay. It's okay. All right.
you got. I think the Redskins have a nice offense for fantasy wise for the next few years with Geis and McLaurin and Harmon and Haskins. I think
Yeah,
it's going to be.
I think it's going to be a completely different team. I'm
Yeah.
kind of excited for
Yeah,
them
but-
to get out of the gutter.
We're all excited for them, and like even the Browns. Like I'm excited for the year.
Yeah, we don't like seeing garbage bag teams take
Yeah.
garbage bags.
I mean,
I want to see them at
seriously.
least go 8-8.
It's like I said like months back. It's like the Dolphins. And not to pick on Barker, but I'm sick of the teams just being trashed all the time. I want to see some resurgence in different squads.
Yeah, like the Bucks, like Milwaukee Bucks of football.
Like,
Hey.
it was actually so sad to watch the Redskins. You're like, I've got to play a Redskins skill position player this week.
Oh, yeah.
Like you knew you were taking an L, man.
You,
It's
you-
like
you could always get them off waivers for the most part. But Frank,
Josh Johnson's usually available in waivers.
I got a question for Frank. I'm going to switch gears and do a 180 just for a minute. I assume you're also a Pelicans fan?
Oh, Zion.
Zion!
You do know he said he didn't want to play for you guys, right?
What?
He didn't say that.
I didn't see that.
He
I
didn't-
saw his
he didn't-
stepdad say that he's not
He
going
didn't
back
say
to
that at
school
all.
next year just
Yeah.
because Pelicans are going to be the. It seems like he's okay.
I was watching like Stephen A. Smith show or something.
Oh,
at
well,
lunch.
that explains
Well,
it.
give me a break. It was the only thing on ESPN.
I don't believe a
It
damn
was-
thing you're saying.
It was 2 softball games in Stephen A. Smith, and I'm like, I got 15
It's
minutes.
like I
Let's
said,
see
like
what's up.
it's like I told Frank on his Twitter. It's like you gotta wait till towards the draft because it's gonna be blown up that day. I don't know what's gonna happen. But something big is gonna happen.
Forgive me. Give me 30 seconds. I was talking to Zion's agent. He paid for dinner, and he told me that he's going to play for the Pelicans. He's going to play well, and if he has to play side by side with Anthony Davis, who I also had lunch with his agent, he paid, that he would do what it takes to win. Okay, I'm done.
They could suddenly have a nasty big 3, though.
They could.
Maybe AD be going to the Knicks, and it's all gonna. Zion and his boys will be back together like the Duke days, and that's my opinion.
All right. So, anyways, Frank, you're excited about Zion, right?
Oh, like just jumping up and down in my living room for the lottery.
Awesome. Now back on to football. Deontay Johnson. Is Deontay Johnson going to land the starting job opposite Juju?
No.
No.
No,
James Washington.
James Washington.
I'm a hard no on that one.
I mean, there's other spots. I mean, one of those guys could play the slot and the other outside.
I will actually point this out because I mentioned in our the articles, backer articles group
Juju
chat,
might play the slot, actually.
and it blew my mind. Just somehow James Washington slipped to the 17th round in the draft, and I'm just scrolling through. Literally took him. I want to say he's my 5th wide receiver, and I'm like, all right, and I feel like it's a great pick. People were like praising, someone taking Hakeem Butler, in the 15th, and I get this guy in the 17th. Not a word was said. I'm like, did I miss something? Did the guy blow his ACL out or something? What happened? Like, dude, Washington's going to be a stud.
So here's my thing, right? Let's do a little history lesson for the listeners.
Instead of right, could you start saying it MK?
Okay.
Here's the thing, okay?
Okay.
I like it.
I watched the Raisins episode the other day. Cracks me up every time.
I admittedly haven't watched much South Park in my lifetime.
Oh man.
Just enough to know MK. MK.
So let's think about this, right? Every time they've drafted a wide receiver,
You said
They
right
don't know-
again instead of MK.
they don't necessarily start right away.
Yes.
Unless,
You mean MK away?
unless you're Santonio Holmes.
Yeah.
I think they let him sit, and they let or he plays the slot, or he's the third wide receiver.
Talking about
But I
Deontay?
think- Yes, I think James Washington, and I'm not saying that's because James Washington's better. I'm just saying Mike Tomlin's whole let's get the guys that have been in our system out there on the field kind of thing.
They still
That's my
have
opinion.
because they still have Switzer too, don't they?
Yes. I believe
Yeah,
so.
they do. And
Wait,
then you
Switzer's
got
there now?
superstar
When
Dante
I missed that?
Moncrief. Yeah, Ryan Switzer.
I missed that when he leave Oakland? Did they trade for him?
Last year, yeah. I think they traded for him either last offseason or early on in the season. There's some
He got traded 18 of last year.
there's some fun
Get
pictures
traded
of
to
him and
Oakland?
Juju talking.
I don't think it matters, though. Like, it's going
Yeah,
to be
so-
Juju, James Washington, a little sprinkling into the tight ends.
They still have Eli Rogers too, don't they?
Yeah, and that's a guy that
Moncrief and all that too.
Moncrief's garbage.
I'm
But-
saying, but they got a lot of people ahead of him.
Yeah, I don't think
Every time I hear Moncrief, I hear the fantasy footballers like Moncrief.
I don't think Deontay has an opportunity at all.
I think there's some.
He's going to have his opportunity to prove himself in camp, stuff like that, but they want all see him starting. That's what we're talking about.
No, I don't
Week
either.
17, I don't see him starting.
Way to keep it on track, Neil. That's what we're talking about. I don't see it either. Drew Lock. Drew Lock?
No.
Could he take over?
No.
No? I
No.
agree. I think John Elway's got this slight bone for Flacco.
Flacco, Pro Bowl year, mark it down.
You better
Flacco
hope
what?
for all your
Pro
Flacco,
Bowl year.
Pro Bowl year, mark
Oh,
it down.
man.
Talk about a
Okay.
fuego take.
That's fuego take. Hey,
This is
Frank,
that's
have you
like
ever
dumpster fuego.
have you ever thought of adding Neil to your stable?
No,
Okay.
not at all.
I wouldn't either
Sorry,
with takes
Neil.
like that.
Sorry.
Especially not now. You better hope for all your Noah Fant shares that Drew Lock doesn't play.
I think Noah Fant's special talent. He'll be fine whoever plays
With
quarterback.
Flacco,
Neil. Me too. I think Fan will be good no matter what. Rookie quarterbacks tend to like the
Flacco-
tight end too.
Flacco's the tight end whisperer, okay?
Right.
Like, Noah Fant's going to probably have 106 catches and, like, 1,300 yards with Flacco.
Yeah, it's like
The
people, hold on a second, but
Go
people
ahead.
are honestly forgetting. Flacco's got better receivers now too. He has a good running back. He's going to have a solid tight end. He
You're right.
has a better team around him.
Right.
Offensively,
People
yes,
forget
absolutely.
that he didn't have anybody at Baltimore. But they had like this trash
I
bags
agree
of
with
wide
that.
receivers.
They kept
Well, he had
drafting him.
Steve Smith.
Yeah,
Steve
but
Smith.
something about that Baltimore offense just didn't.
Yes,
give-
I say, but Flacco's going to have a good squad around him.
I'm telling you right now, like if Michael Crabtree signs to a place like New England, or signs to a place where veterans get an opportunity,
Coming
like,
to New Orleans.
he's gonna have a better season than he had for Baltimore. Baltimore just doesn't utilize wide receivers very well.
I'm
That's
not
why
even,
I'm down
like,
on Hollywood.
I'm not
and-
even a Broncos guy at all, but man, I'm like you got Sanders, Sutton, Sean Hamilton.
I agree. The skill position players are better.
Yeah, me too.
But it is part of that because
Tim Patrick.
I mean they drafted a few guys, in the first round and just in the first, second, third round, and just
But-
nobody works out.
Yeah, but I'm just getting back to the fact that I think Flacco's going to be
I
in
guess
a good
my
spot,
question is-
and then
He'll be
Locke,
improved.
then Locke's not going to be starting.
Oh, so there's no chance it was Flacco's fault that those guys.
A lot of it. I
flamed.
mean,
Oh yeah,
really,
there's a chance.
there's a good chance that a lot of it was.
Definitely a chance.
He had a rotating committee at running back. Nobody that great.
But I think if you get the right combination of veteran quarterback with, I mean, look what happened. I know it didn't carry over, but look what happened with Case Keenum in Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
It can happen for Flacco. It really can. Flacco's a better quarterback than Case Keenum.
Where did Case Keenum play last year?
Washington. That was or not Washington. I'm sorry. Or was
Denver?
Denver.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So
Case
a
Keenum's not
veteran
Flacco.
quarterback
Case
with the
Keenum's
same
not
damn
Joe
team.
Flacco.
Don't take.
And I'm not saying Joe Flacco's
Yeah.
great, but Case
you were
Keenum's
saying
not
when you put
even Joe Flacco.
big talent around him, it's the same talent Case Keenum had last year.
Let's
And
Case
okay.
Keenum.
and
Hold
I think Joe
Hold
Flacco's better than
on.
Case Keenum, but I'm
Hold
making my
on.
point here.
Well, wait,
We're
no,
talking
wait,
about a first-year Cortland Sutton, a first-year Deshaun Hamilton, a washed-up Demarius Thomas.
If-
Well,
if-
we're talking. We're not talking about a second year. We're not talking about a second year Sutton. I believe a damn word you say. We're not talking about a second year Deshaun Hamilton. We're talking about rookies. Rookies, man.
Okay.
Here's my thing. Case Keenum last year downgraded as much as Flacco's upgrading this year, which when I say that, I mean he went from Thielen and Diggs to a washed-up Demarius Thomas and a Sutton and a Manny Sanders. That
Damn
was
straight.
Flacco's moving up from, I don't even know who, Crabtree and
Crabtree, John Brown, Jerome
Willie
Brown,
Snead.
bum one, bum
he's-
two, washed
Bob-
up one.
Jeff
Bob Brown,
Brown.
Jeb Brown, Dan Brown, the author, Leroy Brown, Downtown Julie Brown,
Bobby Brown. I mean,
Bobby Brown,
lots of Browns up there.
lots of Jim Brown, Cleveland Brown. Hey guys,
And
Do,
Brashad-
do, do, do.
and Brashad Perriman.
So I agree with Frank.
No, I'm not saying Flacco's
Doing that too
going
much
to be a
this episode.
Pro Bowl season. You know,
No.
I'm not.
I agree. Yeah, I'm with you. I know what you're saying. Flacco's going to be just good enough to hold off Locke for probably half the season. Maybe better. Maybe
No,
able to hold him off the whole season.
I will tell you, I don't think Flacco releases reins at any point during the season, but I don't think he's going to be a Pro Bowler.
Let's mark it down,
No,
man.
Okay, hold on a second. Let's just clarify.
Neil,
something.
we
Hold on
got-
a second. Hold on a second, Neil.
Okay.
All right, the AFC. Okay, it has Patrick Mahomes. It has Tom Brady. It has Phillip Rivers.
So you're just stating the obvious to me. Is that what you're saying? I know these things.
It doesn't matter
He's
how
fans
good
of those
those
teams.
guys are.
Okay, you're-
significantly better. Ben Roethlisberger.
Okay, well, let's start
you
off.
know,
Okay,
Baker Mayfield.
at least three of
There's-
those guys.
there's no
At least three of
chance.
those guys. Okay,
Time out. Let Neil talk.
at least three of those guys. Well, not playing the Pro Bowl, so that puts down a
Oh,
few more
Jesus.
spots.
So you're making even an alternate freaking Pro Bowl guy who gets freaking rated. That's
I
horrible.
have outs.
Deshaun Watson. No.
Hold on, Neil.
What's up?
The only argument is nobody is going to vote for Flacco. When the
That's
fans-
actually a possibility
Like Flacco could throw for 4,900 yards and 40 touchdowns.
because he's not entrenched in Denver and,
And when I'm
Baltimore hates
doing
him.
when I'm doing my Pro Bowl rankings and I'm voting, I'm going to see Flacco and I'm going to go, yeah, no, and I'm going to keep going. Like
Very glad you have a Pro Bowl vote.
We all have.
Oh, I thought that
all
was
have
one by
a
the
Pro-
Raiders. My bad. That's
We all have
NBA,
a Pro-
isn't it? Who does? Who has
Flag.
the Raiders do?
My-
it? Never mind.
This is my thing. Why I don't think Drew Luck plays this year. I think John Elway has a boner for Patrick Mahomes, and he wants that situation to happen. And he knows that Patrick Mahomes sat a step for Week 17 that year, behind even Alex Smith, who clearly he would have been way better than. And they still sat him. Andy Reid still sat him for the whole season. And I think that's like Elway's going to let him sit and learn.
Can I defend Alex Smith for a second here? Because he wasn't bad. They were winning. They went like 12, 13 wins that year.
I actually feel bad for the flack he gets. I mean, he's solid, man.
Like, you can't bash Alex Smith, and he's doing fine.
Well,
He was the
what he
number
doing-
3 fantasy quarterback that year. You do know that, right?
I'm going to use the same argument you just did with Case Keenum. What did he do last year in Washington?
He had hot duty around him. If your most talented player is a 47-year-old Adrian Peterson and Josh Mother effing Dotson, you don't have talent.
Argument for Case Keenum 14 minutes ago, Arms. You can't use it for one player and not use it for another. You can't flip-flop your argument but on the exact same situation. He went from having Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill on his team to whoever he had in Washington last year.
Cardboard cutouts.
Like, you're going to try to defend that he's good. Alex Smith is a game manager.
Oh, absolutely right. But he's a good one. I don't hate Alex Smith. And I guess what I was getting at is you did not know what Mahomes was. And if you watched Week 17, Mahomes wasn't good. Go back and watch that game. Mahomes did not put up good statistics. I want to say it was more interceptions and touchdowns that week.
Well, that's going to
They didn't-
happen from time to time.
I get it, but I'm saying you didn't know what he was yet. I mean, by all means, I now have an erection for Patrick Mahomes, but for the love
was
of God,
playing
at
with
that point, he wasn't.
Everybody.
What is it?
He was playing with a preseason squad. They sat everybody that week.
Just
I don't think even any Kelsey or Hill. I don't think played that week. Hunt, I think, might have played, but I would go out there and throw 4 interceptions if I didn't have the starting wide receivers and I was playing with bums. Like, I wasn't even Sammy Watkins at the time, but
I feel like you'd go out and throw 4 interceptions anyway.
Let's move down the line a little bit. Let's jump ship. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. Does he come out of camp with a starting job?
Yes.
No.
Who's starting, Neil?
so much so that they trade Alshon Jeffrey before the season started.
Oh no,
I don't buy that, but
I don't even like Alshon, but no.
I mean, I love Whiteside. I think he's gonna be solid, but according to the reports, he's not gonna be starting.
no, I think that he immediately slots into the number 2 role. Seriously, all right.
I like him on the opposite side.
Who's going to start? Nelson Aguilar?
Deshaun Jackson.
Deshaun Jackson.
But Deshaun Jackson,
Look, see, wait, hold on.
Arcega-Whiteside could
We're talking
start.
about people getting hate. We're talking about people getting hate. Why does everybody hate on Aguilar? Like, he's not horrible.
I don't
No,
hate him at
Aguilar's
all.
not horrible,
He's
but
not-
I think
he's not
Arcega-Whiteside's a
very
better
good
player.
They wouldn't have drafted Arcega-Whiteside if Aguilar wasn't at least barely just decent.
Yeah, but I do think, like I said,
I don't like
we all
Aguilar.
love J-Jaw a lot. You know what I mean? But I still see him starting. I still see it. He's like a number 4 guy or something.
I think he starts.
I think he starts week 1.
I hope he does. I
think
hope he does.
In 3 wide receiver sets, I mean, he's going to be on the field, and I think they're going to
He's
play
not,
that
but
a lot.
I think he's a diamond in the rough this year for people's fantasy leagues.
Agreed.
I went through an entire draft. Rookies also involved, so complete startup from nothing, and he's undrafted as of right now, and it blows
Well,
my
that's
mind.
I've seen him good in the second rounders, which I think that's where he should be, but I don't know.
Second of rookie drafts.
Yeah.
That is probably back into the first, going in the second. Yeah,
For his sake, I mean, I actually hope he does start.
I think he's going to be an absolute stud in the NFL.
I hope so.
Let's go deep. Is Kelvin Harmon going to lock down a starting job for the Redskins?
Yes,
It's
Sixth
close.
rounder, I believe.
absolutely. Yes, close with who? Josh
Who's he
Johnson.
compete with?
They have guys that they have
Yeah.
a guy that they paid in Paul Richardson, but I don't believe in him. They have Josh Doxson. I don't believe in him. I mean, why not just start
that's what I'm saying.
freaking fresh with Haskins,
they pay-
McLaurin, Harmon?
They paid Paul Richardson when they didn't have anybody else.
Boom.
That's-
That's exactly what I was getting ready to
I
say.
agree
Frank.
with that. I didn't say Richardson was going to start either, but yeah, I agree with that 100%.
You pay people when you don't know what you're going to draft. After the draft, you find out that, Oh my God, a top 10 receiver fell to us in the 7th freaking
I
round.
probably shouldn't have prefaced talking about Paul Richardson what they paid him, but it just came to mind. They did pay him. I mean, I think they want him to earn something, but ultimately, I don't think there's much reason to put him out there no matter what they're paying him.
I still see him starting. I hope he does, but I don't see it. Not initially. It'd be with regret that he doesn't start. But
Fuego Frank, you want to talk about hot takes? You like hot takes? All right.
It's like pulling out a doggy treat. Like, here, buddy, got a hot take. You got a hot take? Got a hot take? Hot take.
Both of the Washington wide receivers are at minimum wide receiver 3 quality this year.
Oh my God.
both over 800 yards.
Yes.
I
On a
like the new offense in the way it's looking, but I don't think it's going to be
But
that
hold on,
fire out of the gate.
That's not a hot take. Because I
That's
think both
wide
of them.
receiver threes,
I think
starters on your
McLaurin-
fantasy team.
Hold on. I think McLaurin and Harmon both start for that team.
I
And if they
agree,
don't
but
get
they're
great
bye week
start,
fantasy guys.
An offense is going to be, if they don't start, I mean, if they don't have over 800 yards, the Washington offense is going to be dog shit.
Yeah,
Probably is.
Okay,
Anyway.
so I'm saying both of those are basically top 45 guys.
I think
I
McLaurin
agree.
be pretty solid.
I
I
don't
think
think it's a hot take
I think
for that.
McLaurin's not so much of a hot take as much.
There's
as
30 teams in the league, so you would say that 29 other guys in theory could be better than them. Or, excuse me, 32 teams in the league. I'm a dumbass. But
Yes, you are.
31 other guys immediately being better than them. And then there's a lot of teams that have 2 stud receivers. So I think they both work their way into top 45. Now,
They had 30 teams. Well, they had 30 teams in the league when Peter North was on VHS. Like that callback.
Oh, I love it.
That's a long time ago.
32 teams. God,
Peter
give me a
North,
break.
such a great series.
I was in middle school when the Panthers and Jacks came.
But I think both of them
I
will
was
be
in middle
fine. And
school when Peter North put out his probably 25th video.
So I have a question.
yes,
What are y'all in Cincinnati? Does Gio lose the start, like the backup role to mix into either Anderson or Williams?
Nope.
as much as I think that Anderson is actually a significantly better running back than Gio, I don't think that his skill set translate to what they want Gio to do.
I mean,
so
to be
no.
fair, it's still like Mixon than everybody else anyway.
Yeah.
And I
He
like
does it all.
Travion Williams. I think Travion Williams
Yeah,
could
I
prove
said I like
to be the
Williams a while ago.
replacement for 2020. But Bernard, they're gonna get their money's worth out of Bernard, I guess I should say.
They're going to
gonna
run the
make
rest
sure-
of the value out of him.
They're gonna drain him dry before he's gone. And I don't mean he's gonna get more carries than usual. I mean he's gonna get, when Mixon's not on the field, it's gonna be Bernard.
Why let somebody else get beat up in pass protection?
Right. Especially one guy that needs to sit a full year just to get healthy, and another guy that just wasn't that hot of a prospect. Gio was a bigger prospect than Travion. Sorry, Stoops.
Everybody was excited about Gio.
They were.
Well,
They
yeah,
were.
he was an electric
North
little
Carolina guy.
Dude. Throw your hands up, take your shirt off. All right, so let's finish this out.
Well, I got a couple more I want to talk about.
I'm just
You got
okay.
me-
Well, you go
You
ahead.
got me in mini camp.
Go ahead.
Shit. No. Oh, Harris.
Damien,
Yep.
what
Nice.
about him?
Sony Michelle's job.
I did hear. You know what? The Ball Blast girls made a good point. I will say the ball. Sony Michelle was not fully healthy all year last year. He came out of college and into the draft with some concerns about bone on bone in his knee.
JJ.
Yeah. I'm not saying he is JJ. I like Sony Michelle. As long as
I
he
love
can work.
PlayStation.
Yeah.
I love him if he's healthy.
Me too. As long as he can work through whatever issues there are in his knee, no worries. But if it starts to become a girly-ish problem, a Jay-ish problem, Damian Harris would be on deck, in my opinion.
Here's what I'm going to say about Damian Harris. I think he's going to be enough of a thorn in your side to piss you off as a Sony Michelle owner. That's what he's going to do. It's going to
That's
be
why you don't draft New England running backs.
agreed. Been saying that for a year and a half or 2 years now, actually.
Yeah.
Where this leaves James White? That's all I want to know.
I think he still has
James
the same
White's
role.
taking this-
Same role.
Same role.
Jinx.
You owe me a Coke. I ain't buying nobody a Coke.
Here's another question I got, and this is on the IDP side, which y'all should love.
Yes,
I
we do.
Josh Allen in Jacksonville.
Okay.
Now that we know about who was it? Miles Jack? No, not Miles
No,
Jack. Who was it?
Telvin.
Telvin Smith.
Calvin Smith retired.
He didn't
Do we-
retire.
Not quite yet.
He
He's
didn't
le-
retire. He said he's taking a break from the game.
He's leveraging. He's if they throw enough money at him, he won't go anywhere.
All of a sudden, his love for the game will come back.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's why I love the game.
I had an epiphany.
Greenbacks.
Continue.
How many sacks do you project him having this year?
9.
And that defense.
Nice. 8.
9.
I was gonna say 8.5 over under. So
I can see it. I mean, his points wise, I can see him getting over 180.
Well, it
Jeez,
depends on league
Pete's-
format, obviously. I think he's going to be a
That's top 10 in linebackers.
180s top 10.
Yeah, it would
Easily.
be
Perfect.
in
Yeah.
our league
Yeah.
of record. Yeah,
Okay, I'm in like
that's heavy
seven.
hitting.
I can see him being the guy that he's going to get a lot more tackle. He's not, to me, Allen is not just going to be a pass rush specialist in that defense.
Yeah.
There's a lot of places you could have put him to where he's worthless. All right, for unless you have a league that has 6 points per sack, he's worthless. But in Jacksonville, I think he's going to be a stud.
Yeah, saying 180 points.
Yeah, I agree. But
I think this becomes
8 sacks.
part of the resurgence of the Jacksonville defense.
Mm-hmm.
all right, Miles Gaskin.
Nothing. I like the.
He's a
I like him as a
cheap
potential
handcuff.
third down back, and I like him as a third string back. Like, I don't think you need to hang on to an older veteran if you got a Miles Gaskin. Obviously, no more Frank Gore, but he left before that. But yeah, I don't. I think Kenyon Drake. This is it. He's either going to do it
Yeah,
or he's not.
Yeah.
And I think if they commit to him, he's going to do it as long as he's healthy. I think Kalen Balaj is a fine running back too, with running back one upside on the team, not fantasy. I think he's a running back 4 with 2 upside in fantasy. But Miles Gaskin, it's going to take an injury for him to really
Or 2.
sniff the
I just want him for a taxi
possibility.
squad. That's all I want him for.
Yeah, I've got him on a few taxi squads because I have Kenyon Drake in a few leagues.
Right, that's
so.
the reason I want him.
But no, I'm not buying Gaskins unless he's taxi squad cheap.
Yeah, I have absolutely no thought process of Gaskins becoming fantasy relevant, barring 2 injuries.
I'll toss one on top of that though, Raquel Armstead.
Who I was just who was one of the last 2 I was going to ask you about.
Okay.
I love him.
He's excellent handcuff value.
I love him. I
Absolutely.
literally
And
love him.
Fournette can't stay healthy to save his life. He couldn't do it while
Yeah.
he was here. That was 2. He hasn't done it in the NFL.
Yep.
But Gillisley visited there today.
Oh boy.
He's going to have a 3-touchdown game and
boy.
fade into irrelevancy.
I'll add the caveat. Raquel Armstead, he was on my radar, but not enough to talk about on the show because we don't do 3-hour shows unless it's a ball blast and Married to the Game episode. But I mean, I do like Raquel Armstead. I liked him before the draft, but I didn't think he'd be worth talking about because I didn't think anybody would take him high enough. That changed. He went to the perfect situation.
Absolutely.
For a guy that was on the outside looking in at opportunity. Perfect situation. I do not like Leonard Fournette. Dude's a knucklehead. Dude's got an ankle that's never going to be healthy. I stand by
I
that.
just got
He has some off-field issues.
21st for him.
I don't hate it. I like Raquel Armstead that much. That team's still going to want to run the ball. It's not as if they got Nick Foles and they're going to be like, let's Patty Mahomes this bitch up. That's not happening.
They don't have like a stud wide receiver either. That
I think they have so many wide receiver 2s on that team it makes you sick.
I think
they
DD
just
has
don't
potential.
have they just don't have a solidified wide receiver 1 yet. Like they've got like 4 guys that you're like, man, that's an awesome wide receiver 2.
DD's going to make it happen.
He'd be a great compliment to Juju Smith-Schuster, a great compliment to Antonio Brown, but you're like, oh, he's the feature.
What about Bruce Anderson?
What is it?
Bruce Anderson in Tampa.
No.
I mean, Ronald Jones didn't show us anything.
I think Ronald Jones actually it lights fire under his ass. I think last year was going to be an awakening for him. And you know what? He could play completely out of the NFL. But I feel like there's all the reports I've seen has been that he's been showed up in shape, has looked good, and I think that he's going to finally work his way into a starting role and not be great, but be fine.
Tampa Bay is going to be that team that gets, a good ways into June, teetering on July, and they're going to be that team that kicks the tires on a Jay Ajayi or
LaShawn McCoy.
or LaShawn McCoy if he's available. They're going to be that team that goes out and gets some insurance. They seemingly like what Ronald Jones is showing right now, but they're going to kick the tires on some guys. Maybe even an Alex Collins. I mean, they're going to bring a few guys in as camp bodies and see if anybody can jump
They could
into
call-
that
easily
possible
call
backup
Cleveland.
role. Oh yeah, they could call Cleveland. I mean, I stand by it from the beginning. Kareem Hunt's going to be available. I think he's going to be available.
Absolutely.
So
John Dorsey only signed him so that when the suspension is over, he's going to play in one game.
yeah,
He's going to get 7 carries, and he's going to average 5 yards a carry because they got
Yeah.
OBJ and Landry
Yep.
and Njoku.
I'm not even
And-
convinced that they want rid of Duke Johnson. I think the longer time goes on that they're trying to keep Duke kind of convinced that, hey man, just stick around and wait this out. You haven't seen our plan yet, and our plan is to send, Kareem Hunt to the Texans or something.
They
I
keep
saw
talking,
that
they
on
keep talking
Twitter.
like they
That-
want
that makes
Johnson
me-
around.
That'd be ridiculous in Texas, by the way.
Mhm.
Houston, Jesus criminy.
Or Tampa.
I'm sick of Jameis Winston.
Sorry, Kareem Hunt in Houston just gets nasty
So
real quick.
I was thinking this the other day, speaking about Houston. I can't think of a wide receiver, maybe y'all can, that had worse quarterback play for most of his career than DeAndre Hopkins and still was like top 3 or 4 wide receivers in fantasy. Like,
Andre Johnson. I'll say Houston Texans.
Yeah, that's I like that. I mean, yeah, who the heck? Who has the Houston
That's
Texans?
top.
Could you actually say AJ Green?
No,
Yeah.
no. I mean, AJ Green
don't
never
you dare-
had Tom Savage throw him the ball.
dare disrespect the Red Rocket like that.
Yeah, I'm a big guy. I'm a big Dalton fan too, but I call spade a
Too bad he's
spade.
losing his job. Too bad he's losing his job to Ryan Finley.
He probably will.
He might. I hope he does.
Jarvis Landry made a pretty good career in Miami with, garbage truck quarterbacks.
You're right. You're right. But name
But he wasn't wide receiver 3 or 4.
real quick. Tell me who played quarterback for Andre Johnson.
Like Castle.
Matt Schaub,
Okay, and
David Carr.
Yeah.
like okay, so
Like Ben
I
Castle
feel like
and stuff. This.
I feel like I've made
did
my
David Carr
point.
throw to Andre
I
Johnson?
believe so.
Okay.
Matt
It's
Schaub.
close.
I said Matt Schaub, didn't I?
Yeah.
Oh, Brandon Whedon.
Wow, I forgot about that one.
I feel like my point is continuously being made when
Yeah,
you're talking
it is.
about bad
Ryan
quarterback play.
Ryan Fitzpatrick, wasn't he there?
No,
No.
Cincinnati to Buffalo to Tampa, I believe.
He's been to 30 to 32 teams. He is the Gus
Jets?
Farad of the NFL.
All right, I'm looking this up just so we can get some more fun names. TJ Yates.
TJ. Okay, continue. No, I don't think he ever threw TJ.
Frank was right. Ryan Fitzpatrick was in Houston.
Did he ever
I knew it.
play?
I don't remember it, but wow. Brock
put-
Osweiler, Brian Hoyer,
Yeah, but I don't. I think that was all post Andre Johnson.
Ryan Mallett. Yeah, I'm just naming Houston. I'm just impressed at how many terrible quarterbacks played in Houston.
When did
Sage
Andre Johnson?
Rosenfels.
When did Andre Johnson retire?
Like what,
He came in 2000, correct?
That sounds right.
This list is so bad they got Cecil Shorts playing quarterback for Houston Texans. Not even joking. Jake Delhomme, Rex Grossman, Josh Johnson, Braxton Miller apparently threw the ball once or twice.
Ryan Fitzpatrick had 2,400 yards and 17 touchdowns and 8 interceptions in 2014 with the Texans.
Look at that.
2003
Kellen
to
Clemens.
2014.
3.
Jeff Garcia.
Jesus Christ, and he played till 2014.
That's insane.
Yeah, so he was with Ryan Fitzpatrick. Was his quarterback, his last quarterback ever.
Dude,
I'll say this looking at the pictures, man.
Portland Finnegan was his bitch.
David Carr is dreamy. He is just so dreamy.
if that guy had a line, he would have been really good.
He looks like Jesse Palmer, but better.
Just to throw this out here, because I for some reason Andre Johnson popped in my head a few days ago. 1,062 receptions, 14,185 yards, and
Oh, dude, Andre Johnson.
70 touchdowns. Average 13.4 reception.
We had like over 100 receptions. How many years?
Basically all of them.
Like 110
Top
plus.
10, top 10 of all time, Andre Johnson.
He's definitely in the conversation.
That 2001 Miami Hurricanes team is so nasty.
Oh, are you referring to the one that Ohio State beat?
I
In
didn't
national
say
championship?
that.
I was just curious if that's one you're talking about.
The one at Frosco Parish.
I know
Yeah,
you.
that same Ohio State team that lost to LSU in the national
Yeah,
championship.
the one
too.
that Dustin Fox planted.
I don't know if it's the same team because I believe Ted Ginn was gone that year. But
Total inside joke. I'm sorry, Brandon
no,
Whedon.
different team. different
Brandon
team.
Whedon. Take a look at him. Total inside joke. But don't that look like Pudge minus 30?
Yes, yes, it does.
That's Pudge minus 30.
Still can't believe
All
I
right,
got a
so-
crack in the NFL.
I want y'all to give me y'all Super Bowl picks right now.
Holy freaking hell!
Jesus
it's May.
Christ, Frank.
Let's do it anyways. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna be that ridiculous bandwagoner. Give me Cleveland, just because I wanna believe. I wanna believe. I wanna be in Believeland. So Cleveland, you're gonna have to give me a minute on the other because I've gotta pull up my little team
Colts
chart
Saints.
here.
Colts Saints.
I don't mind that.
Yeah, Colts actually a pretty good one.
Colts Saints. Drew rides off into the sunset though.
Are you just saying that to
I'm
make
cool with
Frank
that.
happy?
No, I'm not
I'm
saying it. I'm not saying that to make Frank happy. I could care less about his feelings about the Saints. His feelings as a human, yes, but I think they still have enough firepower, and they're honestly, I think the Saints will just get better and better. I mean, they should have been in the damn Super Bowl this year. I mean, come on.
I want to be vanilla and say the Patriots, but honestly, I see Colts Rams.
I could buy that.
Colts Rams.
Browns. Man, Browns
Dude.
Bears.
Okay,
Browns Bears.
I'm Bears.
Bears. That
I
defense
was-
nasty.
That offense is
I was
getting ready to get
thinking-
nastier.
I'm taking the Saints, and I'm going
Homer.
Shocker!
Homer. Dope.
Saints Chargers.
See, I will never believe the Chargers will make the Super
I
Bowl.
wish Phil Rivers would have a title.
I agree. The Chargers never make the Super Bowl. It's just not going to happen. Philip Rivers, he's great at making kids. He's a wonderful guy, but at the end
He
of
can
the
go 14-2.
Dude can throw out a bang,
he can
but
definitely,
he ain't
he
making
can
the Super
definitely
Bowl.
go 14-2.
he is a
Yeah.
14-2 machine.
When they didn't win it with LT,
14 boys, 2 girls.
He's the Jeff Fisher of quarterbacks, except he goes 14-2 and then loses the first round.
Can we
just
just
to the Patriots.
can we just call Jeff Fisher what he actually is? An anal fisher?
Mr. 7 and 9,
Just
May
anal
9th, Jeff Fisher Day.
The
Alright.
ruiner of Vince Young.
I've had
May
all
9th.
I've had all the
9th.
fuego I can handle tonight.
It wasn't even Fuego really tonight.
No, it wasn't. We actually had this was kind of like the makeup session. This was
this
us
was very civil.
This was us making out with Frank, live and, post release.
Going straight to VHS.
That's right. Frank North, Lexington
Can I speak?
Bark,
So, can I say one thing
Neil
before
Holmes.
it's over?
Go ahead.
On Twitter over the last couple weeks, there's been a lot of people attacking other people.
Yeah, it's been ridiculous.
And I want to say that I don't think, as analysts or people that come on there and follow us I have over 1,500 followers. How, I don't know. I appreciate every single one of them. But
Congrats on
a lot of people ask for advice from each and every one of us.
Right.
When they see us going back and forth attacking each other, like, what does that do other than make us look like assholes? Like, why can't we all just accept what somebody else's thoughts are, debate them in a civil way, and then move on? Like, why do we have to personally attack people? Like, I think
That's not
We
just
need-
Twitter fantasy football. That's America right
Yeah,
now. I
that's
mean,
people's
that's-
hard-headed ways.
I agree. And I wish it would, like, fantasy football is my way to get away from all that bullshit.
Amen.
Yeah.
The last
Yep.
weeks, it's coming back.
Well said.
Like, it's coming into the fantasy shit. And from me to the rest of fantasy Twitter, I would like to see if we can't tone the aggression towards each other down and just work as a cohesive unit and try to help people who don't know as much or don't have enough time to do the research or anything like that, and help them make better decisions on their fantasy teams when they come asking for it.
You know what you just did, Frank? You just inspired me. And I'm not saying this to be an ass. I'm not. I think that was very well spoken. I agree with every word you said. And I am also going to make a Frank picture with the word hope at the bottom of it for this episode.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Seriously, I couldn't agree with you more about your take on that.
Same.
That's not hot. That's just real.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you know, it's people asking for opinions. It's not people wanting to get personally attacked on something. Like, we may not agree with like a trade that somebody makes. We may not agree with what, you know, Jimmy Garoppolo being the quarterback number one, but that doesn't make you a bad person. It's like, you know, I disagree, but here's why. I think, you know, Patrick Mahomes special, or I think Andrew Luck's got too many weapons, or this, that, and the other. But your opinion, you're entitled to it. And at the end of the day, it's like an asshole, man. We all got one. Like,
We're definitely we're definitely assholes to our best friends. You know what I mean?
God, yes.
Not some random Twitter guy.
Oh,
Which is,
yeah.
that's
Oh
wrong.
yeah, if I'm bashing someone, odds are I know them personally.
Yes.
Yeah, if I'm bashing somebody, I genuinely love you.
Yeah.
I give y'all shit. I've been giving y'all shit all week, and I don't know. There's some people that thought I was legit mad. People thought I was legit mad, like I was gonna come and rant for like 5 minutes, and y'all were gonna kick me off. Like that wasn't my. I was just building up the hype. Like, there's no hate. Like, I don't. It's just publicity. When you say my name 4 times on a podcast, and people are gonna listen to it, they're gonna be like, "Who do they keep talking about?" Like, you know what I mean? Like.
See, I try not to say your name 4 times in front of the mirror with the lights out in fear that you'll appear behind me.
Yeah, and I don't say it 3 times because I'm afraid he'll appear in front of me. Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. Fuego Frank, Fuego Frank. That's hard to do. Fuego Frank, Fuego Frank. I can't do it.
Yep. Or just don't care to do it, right?
I can't do it. It's too
I'm just
hard.
afraid he's going to appear here. Don't do that.
That'd be fun. That'd be fun if he could make the trip up like our boy Bowers is doing here next month.
Hey, I make my 2-hour trip.
Yeah, Neil drives a long ways to be a part of this dumpster fire. So, but yeah, I agree 100%. Everybody just needs to debate and not hate, because I say it every show now. There's no freaking such thing as a fantasy football expert.
Definitely not.
There is not. There's just not. Like, I've had terrible years. I've had great years. I feel overall that my common knowledge and my football smarts get me into playoffs more often than not.
You just get
that don't
bo-
make you an expert.
You just
like,
you get bored and move your teams around too much to be an expert.
yeah, absolutely. But yeah, it's like, you know, if I could build a rocket 1 out of 10 times, you think NASA's going to hire me?
Maybe.
Maybe. That's true. They might.
Like, if I knew exactly how everything was going to play out, I wouldn't be talking to any of y'all, because I'd be stupid rich on my own island, because I would have been
Exactly.
playing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I do this, and I started out as like just the hot takes guy, but like, obviously, like, I'm trying, which I guess it sounds weird because that's how I like built myself on the hot takes.
Frank's growing.
Like, I'm trying to get away from all of those, and I still put the takes out. I'm still gonna be Fuego Frank, but like, the takes I put out, I stand behind no matter what. Like, last year, I said Kyle Rudolph was gonna be the tight end 1. I ate enough crow for that. I still eat crow for that. Like,
I wish he
cool
was.
stand. I say.
We all have those moments. We all have those takes, year in, year out. We all have those takes. They may not be as advertised. They may be, you know, secondary to a topic we're talking about in the show. We may slip in those takes, but we don't announce them on Twitter and then stand up for them. So that's the reason Fuego Frank's on for the second time.
Hey, let's just be real. Like, no one's going to remember the hits you had. They're going to remember the flaming, you know, Kyle Rudolph TE1 calls. They're going to like, oh my God, yeah, no, this because Kirk Cousins, blah, blah, and you go down in a blaze of glory. They're not going to remember the fact that you're like, yeah, no, I could see, you know, Michael Thomas being wide receiver number 3 overall. Like, that's not what they're going to remember.
No.
I love you guys, but we are on an hour and 43. Let's wrap it up. That's a little more than I care to listen to on a drive back and forth to work.
Sign off, Frank.
Well, I appreciate y'all having me on. Love y'all. Can't wait to come on again.
We always enjoy you.
If anybody wants to follow me, it's at DHH_Fuego Takes.
Good follow. Whether you like his takes or not, good follow.
You can always hit me up for advice. Know that I'm not going to ever give you no bullshit. I'm going to I'm gonna shoot it straight to you.
I wouldn't take his advice, but you could follow him for. I'm just joking.
I just put out we just put out our Superflex rankings that I'm part of on DHH, so you can go
Saw
check
that.
that out.
I saw that. I can't wait to check those out tomorrow at work.
But other than that, I appreciate y'all having me on again. Hope y'all have a good night, and I'll talk to y'all later.
You as well. Frank, thank you. Fuego's second, not his last. Mark's out. We'll see you guys later.
Good night.
Later.
This concludes another episode of the Back Row Fantasy Show. Thanks for listening, and be sure to give us a review.
Thanks, Frank.
Appreciate y'all.
You too, man. We'll talk to you later.
All right, y'all have a good night.
See ya. Oops. I thought I hit stop. Oh, do you have coffee?
That's what's in there. That's a pretty good show, though.
Uh-oh. Why ain't I getting no sound out of this?
Dude, I've got a rash on my stomach. What from? I don't know. I was outside messing in the garage last night.
The garage.
Smooth.
In the garage. Why am I not getting any freaking...
Cigarette? Are you still on Twitter?
Yes, please. Oh, yeah. Neil, will you hit that light real quick so I can see where I'm scrolling? Push button. Oh, yeah. Push, yeah. Man, what? This thing has been weird.
Are we still? Are we?
Currently, yeah, I'm trying to get my keyboard to... There we go.